welcome to the MohanjiUSA family. I've been asked by the MohanjiUSA family to describe how I met Mohanji, and when I first got this invite, I was happy, and also it started getting me thinking, how will I describe how I met Mohanji? To meet a real living master in one's lifetime it's a divinely orchestrated event, and filled with so many miracles that I just had to. I prayed today before I started that with surrender that I can describe this event in all its divinity and completeness. So I was from my childhood. I've always been connected to a family which was pious and has been doing a lot of prayers and pujas and events. And also it was my dream to meet a master, a living master. I did follow the writings of Shirdi Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, and different masters of Shankaracharya lineage. And somehow I got to US, and I've been in the US, got into life of the samsara, being married, having children, and getting through the whole day-to-day routine. At that time, in 2016, I was going through a particularly very intense and interesting timing, and that would one call as a dark night of the soul. When that happened, I found solace reading a lot of autobiographies of different masters, from autobiography of a yogi to the different masters like Loknath Maharajji, Om Swami, and in that journey, I was able to actually read. I was led to autobiography of an Avadhuta by Swami Nadanandaji with Avadhut Nadanandaji, and that was one of the most was one of the most transformational books, I would say. The best word would be transformational book I had read, where I was totally into the divine flow of what the words were, and each and every word was wholly keeping me in the divine nectar of the tradition of all the events that happened. And actually, one of the biggest things after reading the book was I read about Mohanji. I read about the event that happened of Mohanji's the transfer of energy, and I was actually in tears reading the book. That I am from my original place is from Bangalore, and I was not able to meet such great gurus in this time and age like Nadanandaji and Mohanji in my life. And I finished the book, and I had slept, and then I started, somehow miraculously I started connecting to Mohanji's consciousness, and I started following Mohanji's messages in all the blogs, in all the emails, and I started just day in and day out I was reading that, and I could slowly see transformation happening bit by bit. At that time, Mohanji had come to US in 2017, but the retreat was in Sedona, and I had little small children. I had like young children, and I couldn't travel to Sedona, and I was actually very sad that I was not able to attend that beautiful retreat. And that time, when I was actually looking at that the retreat didn't happen, I saw that there was a retreat announced in Herndon, and that was like packed right next to my house, literally like 5 to 6 miles. That kind of proved, that actually affirmed to me what I knew all along, that the master in my life had arrived because of all the divine indications. The biggest indication was Mohanji always wrote in his blogs were when the disciple and the seeker is sincere and is ready for transformation, the master appears right at the doorstep. In my case, it was this actually I felt that became true in my case, and I was waiting. I had signed up and I was waiting for the first retreat with Mohanji. That was it was a beautiful retreat. It was a one-day event. and I was bowled by the way how beautifully the Mohanji family had arranged it, and MohanjiUSA family arranged it, made it so easy for everybody to work on. And it also it was like it was transformation for me, because that day we all met and we did a lot of meditations. We had Mohanji satsang. We had we did the bliss of silence meditation. We danced to Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, as Mohanji tells about the beautiful song by Pandit Jasraj. And we also had my first Shakti part for me. And the first Shakti part was incredibly, it was very powerful. I could still feel, and I felt the effects of that Shakti part in my crown chakra for days and days. So and I was happy that it was one day, and I asked Mohanji, I wanted you to please bless my mother and children. Mohanji told, why don't you get them to Lata's house? And I asked, then I didn't know, and I asked Lata Didi, can I please come to your house to get my parents? She told, yes, certainly. So I actually took my mom and my children and to meet them, and they were also blessed by Mohanji. I could see, I was so happy seeing a master in the flesh of a Datta tradition, Nath tradition, that it was, for me, it was a dream come true from childhood, actually, to meet a living master. And and he kept us completely at ease, and he was like blessing all the children, blessing everybody, so much at ease that it was that all my and like I was very happy listening to that. And as that happened after the march, and I was still going on, and I could see a transformation happening in me every day, and every day reading the new messages. And one big thing I can tell the people who will be listening to this was, in my case, every time I had a question coming into my mind, either a day or two later, or most of the times it was within a day, Mohanji's message would be exactly the same thing I needed to hear from my answer. And this happened so many times that even my mind, the mind which says the ego and the mind self, mind and the ego self which says, oh, this could be a coincidence, I was blown away. It happened too many times for it to even be a coincidences. And as Mohanji always says, there are no coincidences. It's just divine timing and divine flow which happens in our lives. As I was going through and I was looking back, a couple of incidences came into my mind. After meeting Mohanji, I also attended and reading I attended 3 more retreats with Mohanji. One with Swami Bhaktaji's retreat with Maitri healing, which also was very beautiful, and it helped me release a lot of emotions, a lot of stored emotions, stored vasanas slowly started coming up. And every day was like a new beginning and a new thing to release. I started becoming aware of each and everything of my, each and every aspect of my life, whether it was with the children, whether it was with my workplace or with my spouse or with my family. And I could see that I realized things about myself which weren't apparent before I started. So I think all the meditations, all that actually helped. And we used to have, I met the beautiful members of Mohanji family, like Lata Didi, Vijay, Tia, Lakshmi, Purnaji, very beautiful beings, each and every one, Manuji, Ganeshji, all the real beautiful beings, each and every one, great souls. I have been able to meet and talk with them and attend regular meditations. So, and each and every meditation was like a opening of was a different experience. So when I start telling one by one, I was thinking, what else can I say? What can I add? So the biggest thing, the one from, so I wanted to describe what were my experiences in the different, and how the transformation, what was the transformation Mohanji got into my life after meeting him, after connecting to him, after connecting to his consciousness was the in my tree healing retreat. It was we did a lot of dancing, meditation, and the biggest thing I liked in my tree healing retreat with Swami Bhaktaji was we did one meditation which actually showed what would happen for us to actually sit in the state that we are going to be dying in the next moment. What were the thoughts in your mind? What comes up as to your consciousness? What is the thing? And that was such a beautiful meditation that in the end, when I actually did the meditation, I saw all my family members flash in front of my eyes, but I was at peace knowing that the divine will take care of them. There were some attachments which were shown to me, but the meditation actually showed me that there is no attachment. We come in alone and we go alone. All we are is connected to the divine inside us. And a divine living master comes into our life to show us to that connection. And Mohanji always said, I come here to show you to connect to your inner guru. Mohanji is such a master that who's very down to earth, definitely an avadhuta in genes, always smiling. Mohanji always smiling, making us laugh and telling us all the divine truths in very simple manner that all of us can actually grasp the truths. And it's each and every aspect is something which is transformational. Each and every word which Mohanji gives is transformational. So in my tree healing, I felt a lot of vasanas leave. I felt lighter. I felt a lot of burdens had lightened, and I could feel my anger getting transformed. I had a lot of anger issues and temper issues, which kind of came with me as a child, and also the way with all the stress going on in life. Each of these emotions used to come up more actually after meditation. And I remember reading this somewhere, that first time when we start meditating, it is those bottom vibrations, the lower vibrational emotions actually come up in people because they start bubbling up. So initially I was like, I'm trying to get peace and I'm trying to get into transformation, but why are these emotions bubbling up? And then there were so many that thought came. I think the next day the universe led me to Mohanji's article on how transformation actually happens through meditations. At each time, at each level, like how power of purity slowly purifies our inner space, and how we actually start slowly shedding one by one, layer by layer, the different emotions one goes through. So that was my takeaway from my tree healing retreat. After that, we were doing multiple satsangs with Mohanji. We had, Mohanji family has regular Maitri healing, regular meditations, not Maitri healing, sorry, meditations, and we had a lot of programs, online programs, in-person programs, and I was attending them regularly in either Viji's house or Lata Didi's house, and I used to go attend them and I used to look forward to them whenever, it was for me, it was like a time away from all the work and the daily routine with family. It used to help me center into myself and get myself into a better state of mind. And as and the days kept progressing, and the next beautiful retreat I was blessed to attend was the Virginia retreat for 3 days. That was a 3-day retreat, and the thing that was and what had a personal significance to me in that retreat was that was exactly the Mohanji retreat was exactly on my birthday, and we had that early morning, a beautiful home. First day we had the satsang of meeting Mohanji, and the next day, and when we went to the actual place, the retreat center, we had this Homa in the early morning, and that was actually my birthday. And I was so happy that that Homa was really very divine, and we did a lot of mantrams, a lot of puja, a lot of divine experiences during the Homa. And and I even went to Mohanji and told Mohanji, I'm really blessed today because this Homa is also, and this Homa is so divine, and it happened on my birthday, and I want your blessings. And I just left it there, and then we had the different events during that yoga. We had yoga, we had satsa, we had different meditations, we had a bliss of silence, we had power of purity, we had like daily yoga classes for the 3 days, and then we had conscious walking. But the icing on the cake was Mohanji actually arranged. There was another person in the retreat whose birthday it was, and even Mohanji actually arranged. I think I may have had a hidden desire to have my birthday celebrated. So Mohanji, it was like Mohanji arranged a birthday celebration for me and the other person, Mark, and we had a beautiful birthday celebrations. So that also shows that Mohanji as a master also recognizes that we all have some desires inside us which we may not know, or which may be very unspoken, which was very subconscious, which was I was not conscious of having the desire, but subconsciously I had the desire to be celebrating the birthday. So that actually was actualized and manifested for me. And I still remember that I surrendered at that moment. The happiness I had with being celebrated with all the, all beautiful family members was something I cannot forget. It was like I was a child back again, getting all the chocolates to give to all the people around. That was one of my memories which was there, along with the beautiful divine memories for sure. That gave me a lot of happiness and joy to be blessed by Mohanji like that. And we had so many. That was a beautiful 3-day retreat, and we had satsangs, we had different question and answers, and a lot of my questions were answered. I remember asking about how do we balance work and life, and a spiritual life, and a materialistic life where we actually work with people, work trying to get business, trying to keep up trying to meet all the deadlines we have and maintain a spiritual life. So as that started, in one of the other transformation steps that actually happened was every day I used to get up by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock and not be able to sleep. And every day, and I asked Mohanji, why am I being woken up so early? And that was much before Early Birds Club. It was like, I think that was one of my transformations. So I used to get up every day and I was not able to sleep. So I thought, instead of looking at Facebook and reading everything, I started just sitting and started meditating. And each and every day that became a practice for me of getting up and meditating. And I think that also helped me in one of my transformations, where I was able to sit calmly. Before, I had such restlessness that every moment I used to just everything I had to either be on a phone, or I was so dependent on devices that I had to look at the phone, look at the devices. That was another transformation that happened. After that, along as I came into my journey, I applied for the consciousness kriya and the Maitri healing. So by Mohanji's blessing, I was accepted to both. However, due to my own personal circumstances, I've not yet been able to go and get kriya initiation. But I was trained by Lata Didi for kriya, and I've been practicing kriya most of the time. And Maitri healing is from my personal perspective, the Maitri healing initiation and the mantra, the 41-day sadhana of the mantra was very, very powerful. shadow tendencies and latent tendencies actually start getting released by doing that Mohanji Maitri mantra and Mohanji's Gayatri mantra. And it was before I could even practice on somebody, it was I needed this mantra actually helped me purify and get a lot of inner cleansing done. And every step, and my family could see my transformation because I started being less angry, less irritable, less slowly getting into greater patience, getting into greater acceptance. When I'm talking about acceptance, actually, this incident is coming to my consciousness to tell everybody. When I was also fortunate to blessed by Mohanji to attend the Machu Picchu retreat in 2019. And when we were going to Machu Picchu, we all had one-on-one. Machu Picchu, as you all know, is a beautiful place, but we also had a one-on-one with Mohanji during the Machu Picchu. That was during when we were all driving to different destinations in the bus. We were actually, all of us were given a chance to talk to Mohanji one-on-one. In that time, I asked Mohanji 2 questions. Mohanji, I have a lot of stress and anger issues. Sometimes sometimes that just comes up. What shall I do? So he gave me a very simple answer that anger in any person, anger, stress, and some of the lower vibration emotions come inside us because we are actually trying to resist the flow of life. The day we start accepting and being in gratitude, these emotions will slowly subside and completely slowly release from our being and and we start becoming more and more into a higher vibration and getting into a certain sense of calmness. At that time, I just listened to the message and I was not able to. It took me a while from 2019 to this year. I've been trying to work on myself, trying to really focus on myself to get to a place of that inner acceptance of every event that happens in our life. No, and Mohanji always says there's no event that is bad or good. It's just an experience. And another thing of Mohanji, I keep repeating to myself every day is there are no enemies. There are no enemies, or each and every being that comes into our life are actually coming to give us an experience. It is many times I do get many times this comes to my consciousness more and more whenever I get angry with somebody at work or somebody in my life whom I meet or acquaintances where the things may not go the way I envision. At that time, this statement always comes: always accept everybody, never judge anybody. Everybody is a part of the whole. Everybody is a part of us, and we are part of everybody, and all of us are part of the universal soul. And I keep remembering what was told to me in Machu Picchu, and I still remember that like as if it was said yesterday. And the other event which is coming to my other question which I asked in Machu Picchu, which was actually told to me, was maintain stability in the spine, which Mohanji always talks about, that we always have to connect to our spine and be in a centered, stable position. That was one of my biggest tests to overcome, because there were periods in my life with work, with everything, with different spheres of my life, that I was actually pushed to the limit, and I had to learn to center and stabilize myself to even be able to function, on a day-to-day basis, and meet all the deadlines and all the tasks which I had to complete, whether from a personal, professional, in any sphere. So those two were so these were like some of the many transformations that has gone through me. And I was also blessed to be connected to our beloved Thea, where I was also blessed by Mohanji to also learn the divine grace healing. So that also helped me with Maitri and divine grace. I was able to work on myself more than I have not yet started really working on others. But my whole thing has been focused on first getting myself to getting myself to a level where I can be in that state of tranquility and calmness, which I see which I see Mohanji and the great masters have, that state of complete inner stability is what I look for, and what has been my intent when I started this journey. I wanted to be always to be that that state of beingness which is there, which is permeates through our being at all moments and all events and every minute. That is what has been. That is what I was always looking for. And connecting to Mohanji during each of the meditations, I always get that get that experience. But I want to hold that experience even when I'm in my day-to-day tasks, and that is where my journey is to keep that and internalize each and every minute of that bliss which we get from doing the different meditations with connecting to Mohanji's consciousness, to internalize it, to keep it 24/7. And that's all I had to talk about. Thank you for listening.